Fred, thanks for coming back. Always glad to have you.
Great to be here, Dan. Thank you.
Of course. So the state budget is passed. We had quite a few moving parts in the state budget, and we had an investment in higher education in terms of SUNY and CUNY. You represent workers at SUNY schools. I'm wondering, from your perspective, let's start broad. How do you think the budget played out for the SUNY system?
Well, I think, first of all, we expected a very bad budget this year. If you had asked me a year ago where I expected things to be, I would have told you that I was terrified of the prospects. Fortunately, it turned out to be much better than that. We were also a little concerned with the governor's proposals of a 5% cut in this next fiscal year. Fortunately, the legislature took care of that issue, funded that proposed cut, which was excellent, and also began the process of addressing the longstanding issue of the TAP gap. And that will bring resources to the SUNY campuses. We are glad that the tuition increases have been postponed for 3 years, the freeze on tuition. That's good. Students have been paying enough, but at the same time, we would have liked to have seen some funding for operations to the campuses. Luckily, we've got a lot of federal money coming into the state directed to higher education and to SUNY specifically. And for that, we have to thank our friends in Congress, and especially Senator Chuck Schumer, for doing a lot of good work on behalf of SUNY and New York in general.
So that's what I was going to ask you about. We have this tuition freeze for 3 years. Is the SUNY system getting enough money either from the state or the feds to make up for the lost revenue that would come from a tuition hike? Obviously, I don't think that anybody ever wants to increase the cost of public higher ed, but I have to imagine some SUNY schools may have projected that as anticipated revenue.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the real concern is that those campuses where there have been enrollment declines for a variety of reasons, most of which are demographic in nature. As the population in the state of New York shifts around, there are fewer people living in many upstate areas from which our campuses have drawn in the past. And so there, a loss of tuition revenue may hurt. But at the same time, with the federal money coming in, that is crucial. But let's remember that federal money, as good as it is and as welcome as it is, will only last until September of 2023. And then, certainly by then, the state will have to commit state funding for its public university systems. And so our work remains. We need to get the state to commit long-term funding for the SUNY system.
In the short term, in this year's budget, I know that you weren't happy with the funding that was given to the state's teaching hospitals, the public hospitals that are part of the SUNY system. I shouldn't say you weren't happy. I think that your position was that it didn't get to where you wanted it to be. Can you explain where that shortfall was?
Yes, I think I was shocked that at the end of this process, that the result in the state budget is that there is very little there committed to the SUNY public teaching hospitals. Downstate in Brooklyn was a COVID-only facility for months last year in the depths of the crisis in New York City. Upstate, Stony Brook, have continued to treat patients in large numbers, and yet the state has not provided the subsidy that was there in the budget for years, and actually now it's been 2 years since that budget has been in that subsidy has been in the budget. And at the same time, no pay was included in the budget for hazard duty in those hospitals. Now, we believe we can negotiate that money out of the money that's come in from the federal government to provide hazard pay, well-earned hazardous duty pay for our members at the hospitals, remembering that we had members who died of COVID because they were treating patients and thereby keeping the rest of us alive. Now, really, Dan, the budget, when it pertains to the SUNY hospitals, was a very bad decision-making process. I think I was badly disappointed by the outcome. So we are going to turn to our friends in Congress to see what we can get from the federal government to pick up the slack in this year's state budget.
Something that you were happy about, however, was a phase-in close of the TAP gap. It's kind of confusing, and I'd actually like to have you explain it because I think you'll do a much better job about it than me. TAP, the amount that somebody can get for TAP is going up, and that means that the gap can close, but go ahead.
Yeah, and it is. TAP is an amazing program, and New York State and its leaders justifiably are proud of the most generous state-funded financial aid program in our country, and yet because of some design changes that were made 8 to 10 years ago. When the tuition plan was put in place, the rational tuition plan, what was created was a TAP gap, and that is the maximum award never equaled the amount of tuition that was being charged at institutions. So you had this gap. Campuses that took a high percentage of full TAP awardees never got all the money that they would get by taking other students. So that gap led to financial losses for these institutions. Luckily, the legislature and the governor this time around have begun the process of addressing it. They've increased the maximum TAP award. That's great. And there's language in the budget that commits the legislature and the governor to fund SUNY such that that gap is eliminated 3 years down the road. That's great. That will take care of an issue that shouldn't have existed, and now that program can work even better than it has in the past. So this is a really real important advance in the state budget for SUNY.
Right, it's going to be hugely impactful on the SUNY system, but we are out of time. Fred Kowal from United University Professions, thanks so much.
Thank you, Dan.